Get ready for the show, it's about to begin. Pro fan talk when we dive right in. Sports talk, hot takes, ain't nothing we lack. We the real fans, nothing holding us back. Mic check, 1, 2, y'all know the drill. We bringing the energy, we keep it real. Touchdowns on liquid air, on the slam dunks on the court. Every sport, every game, we holding down the fort. We breaking down the plays, dissecting the stats. Pro fan talk, we keeping it fat. Debating with passion, no filter, no doubt. We the voice of the fans, we scream and we shout.
Ugh, man. There we go. What's going on in these streets? What's going on in these streets? Close my door a little bit. What's going on in these streets right now, man? The WNBA. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with them, man. I'm trying to keep it basketball, but they fucking with the money, man. They fucking with the money. How can you? Do you want to call it self-sabotage? Like Carlos, what's going on, dude? What's going on in these locker rooms, bro? I don't know. I do not know. I couldn't, after the debacle of what happened in Indiana against Chicago and that made up mess. Now you got then you had the Brittany Griner lie, and I stand on that. I'm not even a fan of Brittany Griner. I don't particularly care for Brittany Griner, but she did not say the shit that everybody says that she said. And it was quite clear, if anybody watched the freaking game, could have figured that out. But everybody just went with the headlines. They went with the social media content and they rolled with it. And it was like, it's right there in front of your face if you just bother to look. And that's the key. Nobody bothered to look. And ain't nobody doing their homework again. Now, this story might seem to have some meat on the bones, but even I'm trying to go back and vet the information of what they saying about Lexi Brown. Now, Lexi Brown gave her own comments. That's why this tends to have a little bit of validity, because she basically admitted to she was a little rough with Yueru last year in LA. But I'm like, even with that, I'm like, why you got something to say? You didn't even play last year. You was hurt. So I don't know, Carlos. That's what it sounds like. But it's a lot of moving pieces to that, because so even if you play that out, though, right? Let's say Lexi wasn't the most hospitable host to Lee Yueru. This is a professional league. That kind of shit comes with the territory. There's always going to be somebody in the locker room that you don't get along with. I don't understand. And this is another thing. One of the issues I have with the W is, in certain situations, they want to act like they're exempt. They want to be mainstream so bad, but when the bullshit comes that follows mainstream, this is the shit that you get when you popular. Thus the Mean Girls reference. This is the shit that happens when you popular. You're not getting threats and trolls on social media if don't nobody give a damn about you. You're not getting that type of attention. You always gonna have your people out there that say the dumb shit, but for the most part, You know, Carlos, you in this neck of the woods in Philly, South Jersey, in the Delco area, bro. Go back and remember when Mitch Williams gave up that home run to the Blue. Was that Joe? What was his name? In the he gave up the home run in the World Series. Next thing you know, they was egging his house, leaving death threats, knocking on his door, doing all that crazy shit. And so, like, I understand it. The WNBA is not exempt. It's not exempt. So it's funny, man. It is absolutely funny. And I don't understand. Joe Carter, thank you. Thank you, Joe Carter. And the funny thing about that particular incident was that Mitch Williams came in and did exactly what he had been doing all year. Joe Carter just hit a pitch. He just hit the pitch. Mitch Williams, he was the wild thing and all that kind of stuff. And he came in and was throwing 99 and 100. And, the hell with control. He was throwing heat. And all it takes is you ain't even got to be a heavy swinger. When you got somebody throwing that fast, if you connect with the ball, there's a good chance it's going out the park. And Joe Carter just made the hit on that particular night. But Mitch Williams did the same thing he did 100 other times. Just this night, Joe Carter had his number. Joe Carter had his number. And the next thing you know, he receiving death threats. He went through depression. Folks was threatening his family, throwing shit at his house, parking in front of his house, and all kind of crazy shit. Now, mind you, this was back in when, like the 90s? So if they was doing it back then, the nonsense they doing now, man. But my point is that the WNBA is not exempt from this type of behavior. I'm definitely not condoning it. I'm simply acknowledging that it exists, and there is little that you can do in certain situations. Yes, you can call the police. Yes, you can. There are some steps that you can take, but now it's different. You got a bunch of keyboard warriors sitting on the other end of a phone, of a burner phone. How many people you think? How many Gmail accounts can somebody have? And they on, I hate CaitlinClark.com sending threatening messages or something like that on some burner phone or some iPhone Touch that they 4-year-old ain't using no more. You know what I'm saying? It's too easy to do that. And the WNBA, they tried to dive too deep into that about what they wasn't going to stand for and how they could, we're not going to tolerate. It ain't got nothing to do with tolerating. It's got everything to do with what you can control, and that is something you cannot control. And they barely could control it from the damn thing in the stadiums. So I don't understand it, man. I don't understand it. So I don't know what the situation is with Lee Yueru. She one of my favorite players because I call her babyface Yueru. Because look at that, she got a baby face. Lexi Brown, I know Lexi Brown because I would see her on Gil's Arena, not from what she did on the court. I know she D Brown's daughter, but I was introduced to Lexi Brown on the couch with Gil's Arena. I have yet to see her play. And from what I've seen this year, meh. Not the type of thing that I don't know, man. It's just, to me, you got to have a certain type of gravitas. You got to be a major player in the game where you think you can just say anything and it's going to sway one way or another. You got to have a gravitas and you got to have a chutzpah on the court, man. You don't just, it's not just osmosis. Why is anybody following Lexi Brown other than because of what they saw on Gil's Arena. And before she got hurt, was she burning up the courts like that? I don't think so. Because I really never heard of her. She wasn't breaking the threshold. I knew who Sabrina was. I knew who Brianna was. I knew who Asia was. I knew who I didn't even know who Kelsey Plum was at the time. So she certainly wasn't going through that threshold. And when I say go through the threshold, this is what I mean specifically. When you're talking about Asia Wilson, you're talking about Caitlin Clark, you're talking about Angel Reese, you're talking about Sabrina Ionesco, and I'm trying to think of who else. There's not that many. Candace Parker. Um, I'm trying to think of players that were in the league that broke the threshold. And what I mean is, if you were to ask your 90-year-old neighbor that probably doesn't watch women's sports or any sports at all, if you mention Asia Wilson, have you ever heard that name before? They'd be like, yeah, I've heard of her. Don't she play basketball somewhere? If you ask somebody that doesn't follow basketball about Caitlin Clark, if they don't even watch women's basketball, they'll know the name. They'll probably know the name Angel Reese, whether it's good or bad. They'll know the name. Sabrina Ionescu, because she was in the All-Star game and almost beat Steph Curry in the three-point competition, they'll know the name. Asia Wilson, I say this all the time, and I try to make a point to say it, because Asia Wilson is still the best player in the game, even though she's not the best player right now. The best player right now is Fee. But Asia Wilson is still the best player in the game. And she was moving the needle when she won those back-to-backs in Las Vegas. So before I was even on the radar of the WNBA, I had heard of Asia Wilson. I had heard her winning back-to-back. And I heard Asia Wilson won back-to-back MVPs, and Las Vegas Aces was the only team to sell out their season tickets before the season had started. And Asia Wilson was a big reason for that. So at least, even though I wasn't watching her, even though, I knew she went to South Carolina, that was about it. I knew she played for Dawn Staley, that was about it. To me, Asia Wilson broke the threshold. There's not too many other athletes that are doing that. And don't nobody know who Cam Brink is or Rakaya Jackson. And Rakaya Jackson is a whole nother situation in and of itself. Rumors coming out that she was pregnant and all, like, who was starting all of this nonsense? And everybody just rolling with it. Everybody's rolling with it. And all of this stuff is going to come back. All this stuff is going to come back when it's time for the CBA to get handled. So they better get their shit together. They better get this shit together before the end of the year, because it ain't a good look. And when you're trying to do business, and when you're trying to throw around a billion with a B, when you're trying to throw around numbers like that, every little thing matters. They're going to bring up every little thing to make it sway in their favor. The owners are. The NBA is. The owners of the league is the NBA, basically. So, again, Fee talking about she got out of leverage. No, the hell you don't. Y'all league ain't that established. You talking about a league that has never made money. And see, this is the disingenuous part. And this is when I go back to, like, the people don't want to give Caitlin Clark her propers and all of that kind of stuff. You wouldn't even be able to fix your lips to say that if it wasn't for the attention Caitlin Clark brought to the league. Period. And I'll even give it to people that want to say Caitlin and Angel. I know what the deal is, but if you want to throw Angel in there, go ahead. Because the truth of the matter is, Angel does bring a bigger component of Black and female viewership. She does. You can't just discredit the number one social media influencer in your league. You cannot discredit that. is Angel and Caitlyn. Everybody else, it really ain't even close. Angel got 4 million, and she's almost a million ahead of Caitlyn. And people want to act like, well, it's real close. Caitlyn got 3, and then she got 4. They're like, no, it's a million apart. A million is still a lot. So man, they better. I try not to get into the women stereotypes. Women got the attitudes. Women they don't take accountability. They all of these little catty things. Like some of this shit is high school, for real. And they fucking with the money. They messing with the money. I don't understand, man. So I can understand competing for time with Ezzy and Dom is tough, but I think she looked good. I like Yueru. Let her play the post. She's 6'5", man. Let her do what she can do. But there's a flip side to that. Like, if you are going to be in any professional arena, basketball, football, baseball, hockey, soccer, tennis, golf, if you are going to be in any professional arena, you cannot be thin skinned. And over the last year, it's been real evident that a lot of these women in the WNBA can be real thin skinned and petty. They talked all of that shit last year. They're coming after Caitlin Clark. They're assaulting her. And I was like, man, pump y'all brakes. I had to back it up and like, hold on, let's calm down for a minute. Because for a minute, I even got into that conversation, like maybe they are kind of coming after her. And I was like, hold on, stop. This is a professional league, and these women been playing like this for a while. So what did I do? I had to go do my homework, jumped on YouTube, went back 5, 6, 7 years. How was they playing back then? And what did I see? Fights, hard fouls, bad refs. That's the one thing that ain't changed. They these women ain't like little princesses. Go back and look at Candace Parker's rookie year and the fight in Detroit. Go look at that and tell me how prim and proper these women are. I made the video about the whole thing with Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. And Angel Reese kind of went overboard with her anger and all that kind of stuff. But I understand how that goes in the middle of a game when y'all getting y'all teeth kicked in. That part I get. I understand that part. Caitlin Clark didn't want that smoke, which is why she walked away. So most of this stuff, I don't blame none of this on Angel Reese. Even with the situation when they lost in Indiana, and all of a sudden, all of these allegations and these alleged, you know, racial taunts happened at the game, and it's like, this is the same place where the Indiana Pacers play. It's too much NBA money in that facility to not have microphones and cameras on every seat in the house. And they didn't find a damn thing. But here's my question on that whole thing. And this is where the WNBA is screwing up. The WNBA released a statement about investigation, and we don't tolerate, and we're going to find out. And okay, the NBA, basically, they said all of that to say, we doing something. My question is, who told Angel? Who came and told Angel this is what they were doing? Because if you want to look back, go back and do the homework, reverse engineer it a little bit. Angel didn't say they were saying that. Angel's quote was based on somebody telling her the WNBA was going to do an investigation. And she said, well, if that kind of stuff has no place in our league, and I support the WNBA doing an investigation. You damn right. Well, what else was she going to say? Nah, don't worry about it. So I kept wondering about that, because that didn't come from her. Everybody thinks that she made up the stuff. That didn't come from her. That didn't come from Angel Reese. Tyler Marsh even said it. First time I'm hearing about it. He gave a press conference and didn't know what they was talking about. So who did it come from? Somebody in the media followed it on social media and they ran with it. I was on a post-game show on YouTube. Shout out to my man KSAP. I was on his show and somebody in the chat brought it up. Where did they hear it from? And I said the same thing then. Nah, hold on. It is too easy to get footage, get film, get the raw footage, not the broadcast footage, because the raw footage has got the court sounds and you can hear everything. You can hear everybody in the first 10 rows. If they point one of them shotgun mics in the crowd, you can eavesdrop on any situation going on, any conversation. So I wasn't buying that, not for a little bit. Not for a little bit. But again, they took it and they ran with it. And we had a whole week of this nonsense. And it just gave the WNBA another black eye. And basically, I love this post. This is the WNBA investigating. I love this. What the hell are they investigating? And it's not a good look. Every week is something else. Every freaking week is something else. They fucking with the money, man. They messing with the money. So I don't know what's gonna come with this situation in Seattle. Because I saw it. So here's it from Annie Constable. The WNBA reviewed complaints that the Storm assistant coach cursed at former Storm player after Sunday's game. So it had to be Jewel Lloyd. So I don't know if one of the coaches was talking shit to her or I don't know what the situation was. But again, I mean, okay, so I could understand this if you got an issue with another coach cursing at you. Yeah, you going. I mean, shit. Look at this situation. Look, Angel Reese did that in college when she cussed at an assistant coach from another team. So what are we talking about? Now you talking about in the professional ranks? And again, ain't no hot mics. Nobody said nothing. And if that's all it was a former coach saying something to a former player, how far are you gonna go with that? I don't know what's going on, Tiff. Like I don't know what, man. What do you want? What do you want? Now this is getting into a situation where it's like every day it's like it's like a soap opera. As the world turns, as the W turns, who gonna complain about something next? Who gonna complain about something next? I bet you wouldn't nobody be complaining at that Indiana Chicago game if Chicago would have won. I bet you wouldn't have been no complaints then. Chicago finally getting their shit together. Looks like they got their rotations in check, and maybe Tyler Marsh can squeak out a couple wins in the next couple weeks. Then his whole outlook is going to change. But I don't. Some of the feedback you getting from the W, and it's like, have y'all never watched professional sports at all? And if you have, again, why is all of a sudden why is the WNBA exempt? No space for hate, bruh. You did, just as an example, did you see what the NFL did when they stopped putting in racism in the back of the end zone? Like when you do stuff like that, don't talk about it, be about it. Don't talk about it, be about it. Don't put out a statement and put out a full marketing campaign about no space for hate. How about you pocket that money for marketing and you put a couple extra security guards in between each section? How about you do that? Hire another extra guy in the camera booth so you can patrol the sections with the microphone, with the hot mic, and see what's going on. Because I guarantee you, and this is what people don't think about. This is where the common sense doesn't go. Anybody who's ever been to football, basketball, baseball game, you know what I'm talking about. If you've been lucky enough to be close to the bottom, like the fence, or if you sitting right next to the field, have you been courtside seats? It is very easy to hear the people on the court having a normal conversation in an arena with 30,000 people. You can still hear what's going on the floor actively. So what makes you think the people on the floor can't hear you? So what makes you think it's not hard to have the microphones from the crowds when Angel Reese is shooting free throws, and it's not hard to figure out that whatever that sound was, it damn sure wasn't a monkey sound. Who came up with that? Everybody want to be a part of the story, but ain't nobody trying to figure anything out or use common sense. Nobody trying to do that. Nobody's trying to do that. Hold on. Like I said before, man. Let me do this right now before I forget. If anybody, I'm dropping the link. So if you want to jump on, you're more than welcome. You don't need your camera, just have a good microphone. Y'all know the rules. So I don't. This is funny to me, man. You got to be a professional organization. Now it's interesting, and I know everybody got their different styles or whatever, but this is the time where I'm looking at Kathy Engelbert. And before I even go any further, let me say this right now: I'm a Kathy Engelbert fan. I don't dislike what she has done. I don't. I don't. I'm not down on her performance as commissioner. I wish she would have done things differently. But you also talking about the person that is pretty much responsible for keeping the league from going under during COVID. So, yeah, I ain't got too much bad to say about Kathy Engelbert. Now, I wish she would have handled some things differently, but why is that any different from her than anybody else, any other one of these owners or commissioners in any other league? It's people. The NFL is the most one of the most profitable, I don't know, leagues on the planet, and people still don't like Roger Goodell. It's people still don't like Adam Silver. So that comes with the territory. You ain't gonna please everybody. We just won a Super Bowl, and we just had a whole league try to get rid of our favorite play, the tush push. Why is that? So everybody got their ideas of what they want to do, but the bottom line is the WNBA. Y'all better get back to basketball and stop all of this nonsense. It can't be an investigation every freaking week over some BS, over some he said, she said stuff. Y'all supposed to be professional athletes. Got to get some thin skin. You don't think managers and players be cussing each other out in other pro sports? And all of a sudden, the WNBA is supposed to be exempt. Listen, there's I can find it. I remember seeing that tape of of Skylar Diggins and who was it? Diana Taurasi, I think it was, arguing on the bench, like shouting at each other. They was on the same team. Let me see. Skylar Diggins and Taurasi. I think it was Taurasi. Yep. Pops right on up. Skylar Diggins and Taurasi argument. So here's my question. Here's my question. Freaking ads. Here's my question. Did that get an investigation? I ain't gonna play the sound, but just watch. Phoenix. This was Phoenix. Look, Tarasi stood up like they was teammates. They go Sophie. They was about to square off, and they on the same team. So so where was the investigation back then? You feel me? Like what are we doing here? So this isn't new. This type of stuff isn't new. What's new is all the attention they got, all the eyes they got, all the visibility they got. So now all of the warts are showing. But they got the same warts as the NBA, NHL, NFL, tennis, PGA, MISL. They got the same warts. Just roll with it. But I don't understand what the W is doing. They trying to act like, oh, we don't do this, and it's like no, like y'all pro athletes and the egos that come with them. Yeah, that was crazy. I remember seeing that for the first time. I was like, wait a minute, they on the same team. Now I knew Skylar Diggins was a bit of a diva, but I didn't know it was to that level. And I don't know what the history was with that. I'm sure there are people that were watching the W back then that understands what that situation was. I don't know what it was. I'm just going off of what I saw. But clearly there was something there. Clearly there was some animosity where Diana Taurasi stood up and was ready to throw. And Skylar Diggins, I was like, you talk a big game, but when push come to shove, so this ain't nothing new. Dude, I just said that. They can't be this thin skin. They can't be this thin skin. And I was trying to all the ladies in the house, tell me if I'm wrong. Tiffany, tell me if I'm wrong. Is this a woman thing, being this nitpicky and catty and petty for the stuff that was going on last year with Caitlin Clark? Because clearly there was something extra. I thought it was so funny. So funny. Now, shout out to Ari McDonald because she played a phenomenal game for her debut with the Indiana Fever. Phenomenal game. But y'all remember last year when she was with LA, she was the girl that shot the free throw. She had 2 free throws and she forgot. And after that first free throw, she went back and was guarding Caitlin Clark like body to body. And they had to tell her, like, hold on, you got another free throw left. It was embarrassing. And then from then you knew, like, all right, these teams is trying to do a little bit extra with Caitlin. A little bit extra. There wasn't no investigation when Alyssa Thomas slammed Angel Reese on her neck. And I even said this year when Angel, the only issue I had with Angel Reese when she got mad at that take foul from Caitlin Clark, my only issue was you didn't have that same energy last year when you got slammed on your neck, and that was 10 times worse than that bullshit Caitlin Clark did. 10 times worse. Yeah, Tiff, but these aren't young rookie women. Lexi Brown ain't young. Lee Yueru, she been in the WNBA for a little bit, but how old is Yueru? Didn't she play a couple years in China? Like, let's not forget, rookie doesn't mean the same for international players. It doesn't mean the same. Yueru, she's 26. She's 6'7", 26. She was drafted by Atlanta. But she's 26. So she not a rookie. She played over there for a couple years before she got over here. She might be a rookie in the W, but my point is, you 26-year-old. You old enough to know. Yeah, well, hey, well, if you ain't hit the nail on the head, you hit it right there. Just because your age says one thing, how you act says another. Age ain't nothing but a number. And some people act like kids. They act like bratty kids. So I remember that. Angel Reese thanked Thomas for welcoming her to the WNBA and not treating her for any differently. I'm like, that's some bullshit. That's some bullshit. Don't nobody slam you on your neck and you talking about a welcome to the WNBA moment. And then when somebody give you a take foul, you ready to take off your jersey and fight. Get the hell out of here. That's that dumb shit. And I call it that because I look at it from the standpoint of this, especially my perspective being a former player, being in the league and seeing I can say now, I'm hitting all spectrums. I've played with guys that died from CTE. I've played with Hall of Famers. I can say that now. Eric Allen's going into the Hall of Fame. Eric Allen was my teammate. I played with guys that was on magazine covers. Randall Cunningham was my quarterback. Herschel Walker was my running back. He was my veteran running back. I'm a running back. So I was watching Herschel Walker. I played with the refrigerator Perry. So I done seen a whole lot of stuff. And I done seen the best of the best. So my perspective is a little bit different. And the reason why I call bullshit like on Angel Reese is because number one, Angel Reese ain't stupid. She played at LSU. She played at the highest level and won a natty. She got that. But with that comes the expectation of, I know Angel Reese got a high basketball IQ. I know she does. And because she does have a basketball IQ, why you getting mad at that? You know what it is. Can't have it both ways. So I'm going to hold you accountable. Same way I hold Caitlin Clark accountable. And y'all know, if y'all been rocking with me long enough, you already know I am a Caitlin Clark fan. I'm a Kelsey Mitchell fan. But if Caitlin Clark is shooting like shit, I'm gonna say it. If Kelsey Mitchell ain't hitting her shots and she missing free throws, I'm gonna call it out. Same thing with Angel or anybody else. And how come I can't be a Caitlin Clark and an Angel Reese fan? Because I am. And you're not gonna lump me in with what they call them. I'm not a Caitlin Clark stan. I'm not a Angel Reese stan. I'm still trying to figure out what the hell that means. I'm not a troll, but what I do is I look at game observations and say, hey, maybe you need not miss all of them rebounds or them putbacks underneath the rim, and you 6'3". Kaylin Clark, maybe you need to stop bitching at the refs every time you don't get a call. And I never thought I would say this, but now freaking DeWanna Bonner is worse than Caitlin Clark with the calls. She is worse. You a 16-year veteran. You know these refs are garbage. Every time she's screaming. She got caught the other day in the wind. She at the other end of the court screaming about a foul that she didn't get, and the play done moved on. That y'all on the fast break, and you still back there arguing. And she got a tech. She got a tech called on her because she was bitching about a no call. The ref just didn't call it yet. So Indiana got the call, but she got the tech because she was bitching because she thought she didn't get a call. And you a veteran. Like, nah, I got to hold you accountable. Yeah. You would think a trade request would be a player's last course of action, but at number one, people think that just because you request a trade, you gonna get it. Maybe it's different in the W, because I mean, shit, look what happened last year with Marina Mabry. She got the hell up out of there with the quickness. She didn't like what she was seeing up in there. And you know what? When people do that, be careful what you ask for. The grass might be greener on the other side, but it still got to be mowed. And you know what? Marina Mabry went to Connecticut, and then Connecticut is about to get blown up. But she asked for it. But you know what? Props to her, because at least she playing like she should be a starter. She playing like she should be a number one option. And she didn't. She definitely didn't look like that in Chicago. So, you know, it's one of them crazy things. That's what sets us apart. We're not going to jump in front of a train like some fans will. Absolutely. Um, yeah, dude. I was in a I was in a I was this was last year. I was in a Indiana Fever Facebook group after a game. Indiana had lost. Kayla didn't have a she didn't play horrible. She didn't play great. She was going through her turnover thing. But my issue with her was um number one, how her body language changes when she ain't getting her calls. And number two, on defense, the girl wasn't moving her feet. They was blowing by her on defense. And I'm like, I'm calling that out. And the people in the in the Fever Facebook group was getting mad at me because they said I was trolling. I'm like, so y'all saying y'all didn't watch the game? If I'm trolling, and y'all didn't see that? So some people just like that, man. They want to act like it's all good, and I'm like, nah. I watch too much film for that. I'm a former Eagle. You see these alumni shirts? They official. I'm a former Eagle, and if I can watch the Eagles and watch film and rip on Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown and all of them, if they not playing up to expectations, come on. The big guy in the sky don't lie. The big guy in the sky don't lie. Let's see. Let's see the next time Chicago plays if they still go with that less is more. I explained that a couple days ago. I made a video when Chicago got their first win, and I was like, less of Angel Reese is more. She's becoming a better passer, and they're not trying to force the ball down to her low so she can miss them 3 shots and get her own putbacks under the rim because she's not getting them opportunities like she got last year. So let's see if they continue that and she lets the game come to her. Because when she does that and Ariel Atkins can get hot and they can get the ball down low to Camilla, it's a whole different ball game. Let's see if they can keep that going. Or are they going to try to do like what Teaspoon was doing last year? And a lot of people don't want to admit it. A lot of people don't want to admit it. And I understand why they don't want to admit it, but people do not want to admit it that Chicago Sky need to bring back Kennedy Carter. Stop playing with me. Y'all can get mad because she hip checked Caitlin Clark. It wasn't even a hard hip check. The reason why Caitlin Clark fell down was because she was blindside with it. She wasn't expecting it at all. It wasn't a hard hit. But granted, it wasn't a good look for the W at that particular point. And definitely not for Kennedy Carter. But guess what? Chicago Sky could really, really use Kennedy Carter right now. Because that girl can get some buckets. She's the best ball handler they had on the team. She was one of the better ball handlers in the league. And if she was playing right now, she would be in my top 5 for fastest players in the league. But she ain't. She playing in Mexico. So, her track record caught up to her. It's not all the W's fault. That's her fault. I still, and I say that because there have been a lot of other people in professional sports that have done a lot worse than whatever Kennedy Carter has done, and they still managed to find a way to get on the team. So if somebody wants to do it bad enough, they'll do it. But I understand the business of it. It's not a good look, and a lot of people think that she is not good for business. And you know what? I can't. It's hard to argue that with the way she behaves sometimes. However, However, comma, winning cures everything. Winning gives you a much longer leash. Listen, man, Carter has a history of off the court problems. So does a whole bunch of other people. the Erica Hamby was suing uh, the Las Vegas Aces. So what's worse? Um, what's your girl from Minnesota? Courtney Williams. Have you seen her history? She got some jacked up shit too, but she on the team. So at the end of the day, if you want to find somebody that's got a sketchy track record, you can do that in any profession, in any professional sport. You can do that. But like I said, winning and talent proves out. Who smacked Kennedy? Smacked Mabry on her own team? I don't remember hearing about that. Is that why she wanted to leave? She got in a, was it her that got in a fight with Kennedy? Was it her and Mabry in the locker room? I hadn't heard that. I didn't know Kennedy smacked Mabry in the face. You gotta listen. If y'all heard something, if you in the chat and you heard something, you heard a story, post a link. Post a link. Oh, when they played, okay, okay. Um, she didn't start with Chicago. She came off the bench. She didn't start until after the All-Star break, I believe. So, but you're right. But I mean, I can't ignore that part of it. Kennedy is her own worst enemy. That I agree with. However, my point is there are a lot of people that have done a hell of a lot worse than Kennedy Carter could ever do. And people find a way. If you want somebody bad enough, you will find a way to make it happen. Period. I don't care what sport you in. I don't care if it's a WNBA, NHL, NFL, NBA, Major League Baseball, whatever. If you want somebody on your team bad enough, the power still and always has resides in the owners. If Jeff P wanted Kennedy Carter on that team, Kennedy Carter will still be on that team. If he was a fan of Teresa Weatherspoon will still be coaching that team. So it all comes down to the GMs and the ownership. And I say owners because even if the GM wants to go one way, the owner always has the power to veto because it's his team, his toys. So, um, yeah, all of this stuff is crazy, man. We got a lot of. Um, it would be my advice to the W as a league. Like Kathy Engelbert need to have a league wide Zoom call. That's what she need to do. She need to have a league wide Zoom call. Make sure everybody on the call and be like, listen, y'all need to pump the brakes a little bit on all of this bullshit that's going on because you you destroying your own cause because all of this shit is gonna come back on the CBA and negotiations. This is where this is all going to end up heading. Everybody knows that Caitlin Clark is the draw. Stop complaining or pretending like she is not. I said this last year. Caitlin Clark is the face of the league right now. Doesn't mean she's the best player because she's not. That still goes with Asia Wilson. But Asia Wilson does not warrant everybody going into a new venue. When Las Vegas goes to Atlanta, Atlanta wasn't moving to a bigger venue. They might now because now the spillover is starting to happen. Now New York been selling out. Minnesota's numbers is going up. Everybody's numbers is going up. So now the spillover is finally happening. But they did get a reality check. When Caitlin Clark gets hurt and the ticket sales slumped and the viewership went down a little bit, what that lets you see is the league is not as it's not as visible as it wants to do, as it wants to be without Caitlin Clark on the scene. However, it did show which teams can hold their own if she's not on the scene. New York is one of those teams. Vegas is one of those teams, but Vegas is struggling right now because they're not winning. Minnesota, they still undefeated. Atlanta is looking better. Nobody expected Atlanta to look this good. Nobody expected the Washington Mystics to look this good. Or, I don't know, I already called it, Kiki Iriafen. If she stays healthy, it's going to be her and Sonia Citron for Rookie of the Year. I know they're going to try to give it to Paige. They're going to try to give it to Paige. But right now, Kiki Iriafen is unquestionably the best rookie in this draft right now. They're not even using Dominique Malonga. Dominique Malonga should be, but they're not playing her enough in Seattle. Kiki Iriafen is putting it down. I wish you'd have put it down for USC after Juju got hurt, but that's water under the bridge. So, but we'll see. We shall see. But they gotta get this. They gotta tighten this up, man. They gotta tighten this up. This is a damn shame. It's laughable for a professional league to be operating like this. This is like high school shit. Is it? And listen, if I'm overreacting, you tell me. Let me know. Do we look at it the same way when they do this? Because I know they do the same bullshit in the NBA. So, you know, is it NBA or NBL? National Basketball Load Management Association. I don't know. They gotta make it. They gotta get it together, man. Kathy Engelberg, you need to make that Zoom call happen so you can get everybody on the same page. Because y'all still got people talking about we got all the leverage, and you got to be careful. And the one thing that I haven't seen, and I'm glad I haven't, ain't nobody else really talking about the CBA right now. And keep it that way. Don't talk about it. If you're not going to the meetings, NECA, keep all of that tight. Nika Agumake is the WNBPA president. So she is going to be leading the charge going into these negotiations with Kathy Engelbert and going up against the NBA owners. And telling you now, they're going to try to go in there swinging for the fences. They're going to strike out. Because you really got to look at $2.2 billion is a lot of money. Over 11 years, breaks down a little bit differently. So you're talking about $200 million a year. And you got 2 new teams in the league. So now that cut gets split up by even more teams. Toronto's coming next year. So you got Golden State and Toronto. So you got what, 14 teams now? So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So you're gonna have 15 teams next year. With the what is it called? The Tempest, Toronto Tempest. I think that's what it is. Serena Williams, part owner of that team. They got the celebs coming out. So yeah, Bob, Malonga is on the team full of vets, but man, they gotta. If they didn't learn anything from Caitlin and Angel last year, y'all better play these young people. Look at Kiki and Sonia Citron. There's 2 rookies starting, and they are paying dividends. They are paying dividends right now. So, we got Indiana got Ari McDonald. Me personally, I was hoping that they would find a way to scoop up Mina Torre, the French girl that played for Golden State. Ain't no way Golden State should have cut that girl. Got to play the game though. Is it Tempest? Tempo. Toronto Tempo. Yeah, I think Tempest sounded better, but yeah, they got a lot of things to iron out, man. They tripping. that's, that's all I can say is they tripping. Y'all better stop acting like y'all extras from Mean Girls. Like, what are y'all doing? Come on now. So, uh, 6 hours ago, was there a game tonight? I don't think there was a game tonight. Wednesday. Nope, there was not a game tonight. Okay. Tomorrow, we got New York at Washington. New York's going to win that game. They'll be 8-0. Golden State at Phoenix. Phoenix is playing well right now, man. 5-3. But I like Golden State, man. Is that embarrassing that Golden State has a better record than Chicago right now? Or did Chicago get another win? Let me see. How many wins? Chicago a one-win team? Chicago. Chicago is Chicago is 2-4. So they got 2 wins. 2 dubs. All right. Stanley Cup is in OT. You know what? I don't know what the deal was with Deja Kelly. That was weird to me. She was another good one that, like, why? I don't know. I don't know. That that is to me that was fuel for the in the CBA negotiation. That extra roster spot is going to be key. They're going to fight for that. They're going. Those are the two things they're going to be fighting for the most. More money in the checks. Your average salary has got to go up for the W. It has to. So that's going to go up, and the extra roster spot. But like I've said before, um, I think the Lynx lose first. Like I said before, this is a given. A negotiation is a give and take. So they're gonna have to give up something to get something. So, and maybe instead of 15 roster spots, maybe they'll only get 14, or maybe they only get one extra roster spot because I think the number one thing that they're gonna look for is better pay for the players, and they should have it. It shouldn't be a $250,000 contract, and it shouldn't be a 4-year contract. It shouldn't take you 4 years to make 250. These girls should at least be making, I don't know, 150, 150, 175 a year. That should be the minimum. It was 100 grand. That was the minimum salary when I was a rookie. I was a rookie in 93. So come on, man. You can just imagine. Um, they started the league in when? 97, I think it was. I think. I'm probably wrong on that. But what was the salaries that the ladies was making back then? Oof. So now you got all of this attention. You got Caitlin Clark. You got everybody willing to throw money at you as endorsements and ad revenue. Take advantage of that and stop fucking with the money. You ain't gotta. Listen. I'm waiting for what's her name? What's her name? I'm waiting for Dejanay Carrington to do something else stupid. I saw they rescinded her flagrants, and I was like, really? When she scratched back and took a gash out the bridge of the girl's nose, Shepard. So it's only a matter of time before something happened with her. So, um, and she one of them people that like to talk a big game. So it's only a matter of time. What's going on, Brooklyn? Yeah, Kelsey is the top moneymaker this year at 249. Yep, I know that. I know that. But the rookies, you can't have rookies making 70, 75, 69. You can't, uh-uh. They got to be hitting six figures, especially what do the rookies do if you live in the LA and New York? Because every rookie ain't gonna be able to count on that NIL money. It just ain't gonna happen like that. So the landing zone, okay, that makes sense. Edmonton just won. All right, all right. So it's yeah, man, they gotta get it together. They gotta get the W's gotta get it together. Like I said, Kathy Engelbert, hook up that Zoom call. You need to talk to everybody and talk to everybody at the same time. Everybody at the same time. And you know what? It needs to be an uncomfortable situation. And it needs to be a situation where everybody can't talk. It's got to be, it's like, this is what y'all gonna do. Cause I'm the commissioner. Cause let me be honest with you, some of the shit that Goodell doing, what's his name? I can't even remember what the commissioner was when I was a rookie, because the strike had just happened. Um, what year was that? What year was that? 87. Yeah. So the 87 year when they went on strike and the lockout, right? I just remember our player reps really like on us to like, hey, this is what how you need to vote, and this is like trying to explain stuff. And even then it was hard to understand it because we were rookies in the league. We hadn't been in the league and we didn't understand the ins and outs and the business of it. Just didn't. It's a lot different now because everybody's got expectations, everybody's got education, and there's a lot more money going around. So a lot of people pay attention a lot better. The WNBA is not there yet. They are not yet there yet. They're working on it. They're getting there, but not quite. Not quite. So I don't know. I don't know if they'll ever get there. I know they better be doing a better job with the player reps getting the information out on what they should expect. And they got to be realistic with it. They got to be realistic with it. So um, they, it's going to be a great season. It's looking like right now, barring anything crazy from happening, that New York, it might be New York and Minnesota again. And if it is New York and Minnesota again, I don't see Minnesota beat New York. Natasha Cloud is on some other stuff right now. Um, Jonquel Jones is still Jonquel Jones. Brianna Stewart, honestly, ain't moving as fast as she used to. She ain't got to. Sabrina's still Sabrina. She go on these hot streaks, but based on what happened in the finals last year, it's like, let's get there first and then let's see how you play. So, but it could be New York and Phoenix again, not New York and Minnesota again, because Fee is on the heater right now. Fee is the best player in basketball at this present moment. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. So let's see if they can keep this up. There's no Olympic break, so you're gonna have a lot of momentum. They playing for this Commissioner's Cup. I don't care about that. I want to see how they look on the court. Indiana got Ari McDonald, and Ari McDonald made a good debut. She made herself known, very similar to what Sophie did. Sophie's first preseason game, she was like, "Okay, I can do some things," and I was surprised. I ain't gonna lie. I was looking at Sophie like she was just another pretty face, but we'll see. Man, listen. With Natasha Cloud playing the way she playing, and Jonquel Jones playing the way she playing, and it's not like Brianna just sucks all of a sudden. Nah, I'm just saying she a little bit slower, and that's true. Happens when you get older, but it ain't like Brianna Stewart can't ball no more. Far from it. And Sabrina Ionescu, she in her prime, and she can't shoot. She can't shoot worse than she shot last year in the playoffs. She can't. So it's only going up. It's only going up. The only thing they got to do is stay healthy. That's it. And New York is going to be very hard to beat. They're going to be very hard to beat. They're going to drop a game sometime in the future. We almost beat them, but again, Natasha Cloud on some other stuff, D'd up Caitlin Clark, got that hand in there, and knocked the ball away. I thought that was a clean play. I was more upset at the non-call on DeWanna Bonner 10 seconds earlier. That was the play that decided the game, not the play, not the inbound play with Caitlin. the Dewana Bonner, because she shoots free throws. If she hits them free throws, we talk about a whole nother situation. So New York is balling right now. Minnesota's balling. Um, they're gonna be hard to beat. They're gonna be hard to beat. So, all right, man. I've been rocking for about a minute, an hour and 10. So it's almost 12 o'clock. I'm gonna get ready to shut it down. I got stuff to do. I got to work tomorrow, y'all. Stop messing with me. Leave me alone. So, all right, man. I appreciate the stream. I appreciate the chat. And I know I was up on late tonight, not my normal time, but I had to talk about the Seattle stuff, man. It's getting crazy. Hope y'all like the I I gotta say, one of the dopest. I mean, I did it, so of course I'm gonna think that way, but one of the dopest thumbnails that I've done was the Mean Girls. Let me see if I can get a good picture of that. No, let me see. I know I got somewhere. Oh, that's another. Yeah. I thought I had it posted where it would show like the whole thing. One of these Facebook posts has got it, but I ain't trying to go through. I'm gonna take one more shot. Uh, nah, it's the same link. It's all good though. Oh, you know what? Hold on. I'll do it like this. Do it like this. Let's do where we at? Where we at? There we go. There we go. I'm gonna post that, and they're gonna bring it up. There we go. Yeah, that's one of the dopest thumbnails I've done. I just like that one. I just like the way that looked. I looked at the Mean Girls poster from the movie, so I matched the font, you know, with the gradient, the pink and the purple gradient, and then the flat purple Lexi Brown at the top with Lee Yueru small on the bottom. I like that. So, but I'm gonna get up out of here, man. I'm tired. Um, yeah, WNBA, y'all got to get y'all shit together. I'm watching. I'm gonna watch regardless. I'm a fan. I'm invested, so I ain't going nowhere. It's all these other people you got to worry about because that's gonna make the difference. The fans are the fans. The fans are gonna be there through thick and thin. What you're trying to gain is the visibility and the audience. You think everybody that watches the NBA is NBA fans? No, they're LeBron fans, they're KD fans, they're Wemby fans, they're Ja fans. They can give a damn about the rest of the team. They're Luca fans, they're Steph fans. They don't care about the rest of the team. They want to see their guy, period. That's it. And you got a lot of people like that in the W. They want to see Caitlin Clark, or they want to see Angel Reese, or they want to see Asia Wilson, and that's it. But I'm a true fan. I'm invested. There's somebody on every team I like. Every team. There's somebody on every team that I would stop and watch a game so I can see that player play. So I'm invested in it and I'm gonna stick with it. But y'all got to get over this hurdle, man. Y'all going through growing pains right now. Come on now. Come on now. So uh listen, I'm gonna get up out of here, man. I appreciate everybody in the chat. Iowa, UCLA, OU B-ball fan. You was bringing the fire tonight, man. I appreciate you, man. Bob Paranoiac, I appreciate you. My man Brooklyn is in the building. I appreciate you, Brooklyn, as usual. Um, Brooklyn, we're gonna have to hook up, man, and do another collab. So let me know. Everybody, Tiffany was in the house tonight. I appreciate you, Tiff. Carlos, as usual. Jeanette, Henry, I appreciate you. Everybody, man. So good conversation tonight. Good conversation tonight. We're gonna keep this thing going. And I will see y'all tomorrow. I'm gonna have some more content tomorrow, man. We're gonna keep this thing moving. I am on my way to 10K. That's what we doing. All right. So I will holler at y'all tomorrow. Y'all be safe. Peace.